Ladies and gentlemen, I am StooDogg. YouTube has announced a tweak to its terms of service in the US, which will roll out worldwide over the next year or so. For monetized creators, YouTube has changed the naming and the terming of the payments that monetized creators in the partner program will receive. These payments will now be termed as royalties as opposed to just AdSense payments or AdSense checks. This makes sense, ladies and gentlemen, with a YouTubers union breathing down YouTube's neck, saying that YouTubers should be treated as employees. From certain legal standpoints, it could be seen that YouTube AdSense payments could be seen as a wage, and it looks like YouTube wants to distance itself from wording like that to show that these payments are just royalties, as if they were given to a person who was sub-licensing out their content, rather than payments made to an employee. Distance yourself from the term wages, clarify that payments are royalties. However, as per usual with YouTube, they release a new policy update. They will inevitably find a way to fuck over and piss off virtually the entire YouTube community. A way that they can piss off and fuck over the entire YouTube community as a whole at large. Ladies and gentlemen, in the YouTube Terms of Service now, there is a new clause that you, as an uploader, will grant YouTube the right to monetize your content as it is uploaded to the service. Such monetization, including displaying ads on or within your content, and that agreement will not entitle the YouTuber uploading to any form of payment from YouTube whatsoever. YouTube will keep 100% of the money for that. This means that any non-monetized YouTube channel will begin displaying ads alongside it at YouTube's pleasure, with all of the associated revenue going to YouTube itself. As for channels which are fully monetized, it is uncertain if YouTube will be withholding the money for themselves from those channels as well. I do not know if this means that now every single advert displayed on YouTube means that all of the money from the adverts go to YouTube's own coffers. And then the YouTube Partner Program, cost per mile and all that. I mean, YouTube could just give the rubbish, shitty little adverts that aren't worth very much. Share them with the creators so the creators get virtually nothing, and keep all the nice, big, expensive adverts for themselves. I guess we'll find out in a future update, which YouTube will no doubt implement with an immediate effect, which will affect monetized creators. Sorry guys, we're keeping all of the money. Remember the 55-45 split? Yeah, we're getting rid of that. We're just going to keep all of the money for ourselves now. It's the sort of thing that YouTube would do, ladies and gentlemen. I await that update to the terms of service, which will no doubt cause an absolute fracas within the community. I await that with an amused smile. But looking at that, having a think about that, ladies and gentlemen, there are channels such as Jim Sterling who prides himself on being an ad-free channel, even down to deliberately mucking about with the YouTube copyright systems so that ads won't appear alongside his content, because he seeks to be an ad-free channel.
the copyright deadlock, which is my little pissy way of dealing with copyright claims put on YouTube by a bunch of bastards. When a company like Nintendo or Konami chooses to monetize one of my videos, the ad-free nature of my show is compromised, and I have to be the one telling people it's not my call. A game publisher gets to make money off my work even if I use a fraction of a trailer well within the bounds of fair use on a video I have no intention of monetizing. Well, not anymore, because my workaround, at least for right now, works. It's a petty little trick at its core, but it's a trick that gives me no small amount of smug self-satisfaction. It's the copyright deadlock, and I stumbled upon it quite by accident with the Jimquisition episode Review Events and Boot Camps. This video was hit by not one, not two, not three, but 4 Content ID matches. They can't all 3 of them own the video. So it is that the monetization attempt fails, and you get a nice side effect of highlighting how utterly absurd Content ID is that the 3 corporations can lay equal claim to a single person's original transformative work. And how messed up is that? In order to ensure the integrity of my fair use content, I have to quote-unquote infringe on more copyright. Provided I can predict when a video is being claimed, I can combat monetization attempts, but to do so, I have to get more claims, going out of my way to upload other companies' footage. And once you do that, you realise how fucking much you can now get away with. I mean, all sins are equal after that point. So long as I can get 2 claims instead of 1, nobody wins. Most importantly, those cockheads don't win.
Does this now mean that YouTube is going to begin playing ads alongside his content? Of course, with the Sterling deadlock, he won't get paid. The companies that own the things in his videos, they won't get paid. But now, YouTube will. Not sure of the legalities on that when the content appears to belong to multiple people, according to the copyright claims on it, and YouTube is then withholding all of the money for itself. And what of content creators that don't want ads in their content? ASMR content, for example. Quiet, idling sounds of an engine in a forest at night that people go to sleep to. And then every 2 minutes there's an advertisement for ball hair shaving razors. I apologise for perhaps sounding a little bit lewd with that comment, ladies and gentlemen. However, it is the truth. I've seen at least 3 adverts for ball hair shaving razors today on YouTube. It's something that seems to show up all the time, even though I've said I don't want to be tracked. I've essentially withheld my information from ad preferences. They seem to know that I'm a man, and they're advertising man things to me. In all honesty, if a razor goes anywhere on a man's body, it goes here. No blade whatsoever goes any lower than here. Maybe here. However, inappropriate to YouTube advertising is a line of content that stands on its own, and we can maybe cover that in another video, ladies and gentlemen. So, what of these advertisements that will be appearing alongside non-monetized channels, ladies and gentlemen? Will they be subject to any kind of rules or legislation? Monetized channels have to fill in forms declaring what's in their content. Did you say fuck or bugger? Are there any naked boobs in your video? Stuff like that, which will affect the advertising status of such videos.
Self-certification, where you tell us what videos do and don't comply with our advertiser-friendly guidelines. We then use your input to help decide what ads to run on your videos. If you know your content complies with our advertiser-friendly guidelines, then the process is actually pretty simple. Once you've turned monetization on, select none of the above. If you know your content doesn't comply with our advertiser-friendly guidelines, then rate your video accordingly. You should see here that your video is going to receive limited ads or a yellow icon.
Non-monetized channels don't have to go through any of this. So will these ads appearing alongside non-monetized content have to follow along with any kinds of rules like this? YouTube did shake up its monetization rules and guidelines a few years back, because such things as terrorist beheadings were finding their way onto YouTube with advertising running alongside them, and the money going to the uploaders. ISIS, Al-Qaeda, the Taliban. Perhaps not the sort of people that YouTube wants to be paying ad revenue to, ladies and gentlemen. And what of the Elsegators who were uploading clickbait rubbish that drew in thousands of dollars in ads due to the inappropriate nature of it literally hijacking parts of the application that people were watching on a daily basis when they handed their devices to their kids and said, "Here, watch this and be quiet"? Will the content now truly matter if it is YouTube who are the ones making 100% of the ad profits on it? Ladies and gentlemen, if you're thinking along the same lines that I am, we all know that this is just another Wall Street Journal headline waiting to happen, and another rule update in the future waiting to happen that's no doubt going to fucking piss off everyone again, because that is what YouTube is good at. Pissing everyone off all the time. Another ticking time bomb of lawsuits waiting to happen, because YouTube is asleep at the wheel, as usual, and perhaps even more asleep at the wheel because they've sent all of their employees home because coronavirus. I can see the future now, ladies and gentlemen. YouTube making advertising revenue, pocketing 100% of it, running advertising, alongside bad actors who have content such as child abuse and animal abuse littering their channels. Perhaps I'm just being cynical, but we've seen it before, and with the way that YouTube is, I have no doubt we will see it again, ladies and gentlemen. So, you grant to YouTube the right to monetize your content on the service, and such monetization may include displaying ads on your content. That's fine, we've just covered that quite extensively, ladies and gentlemen. But the clause also says, or charging users a fee for access. Charging users a fee for access, like a subscription fee? YouTube, much in the way that it wants to become the new TikTok with its shorts features. Does it want to also become the new Netflix-based subscription model as well, perhaps?
Fatality.
Fucking hell, John. Now, obviously, there would be a lot of issues with YouTube moving from a free-to-use, free-to-access, free-to-upload-to platform to becoming a pay-for-all platform. There would be a lot of issues with this from not only the creator side, but from the just a person viewing the platform side as well. YouTube would stand to lose, as well as deter a lot of people from using its service if it did move towards such a monetization practice, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine a YouTube where every username that you see is a person who is paid $5 a month to use such a username, ladies and gentlemen. That's certainly a lot of money in YouTube's pocket. From a YouTuber side as well, it also means it's a fee being paid for the storage of content. Mass storage, ladies and gentlemen, with my own videos coming in at around about a gig each. And I've made quite a few videos. From certain angles, it would appear that monetarily, really, it would only benefit YouTube. But at the same time, we can't just look at the negatives. We need to view this from different angles, ladies and gentlemen. In the last several years, YouTube has been plagued with bad actors across its platform. Would a paywall keep them out? A fence, a gate, a fee to create a YouTube account, a fee to create a YouTube username, being paid on a monthly basis. This could be beneficial to the platform. But what about censorship and the First Amendment? Well, YouTube's not the government. They're not going to arrest you for things that you say on the platform, but they might kick you off the platform for being a dick and saying stupid things. The consequences of your actions. But you're charging me money to say things. You're under no obligation to be on a platform that costs you money. They're not eating the coins out of your wallet if you wanted to be on the platform and if you wanted to pay to be there. This comes down to YouTube's not forcing their creators to be on the platform. They're not forcing people to make content, and they're not forcing people to watch content. They're not forcing people to interact with the platform in any way. So it's not a censorship issue or a First Amendment issue. If anything, YouTube creating a subscription model could be seen as them making a move to protect their creators, protect the people on the platform, and protect themselves from bad actors. Beneficial to the platform as a whole in the way that a person who has been terminated from the platform for abuse of the YouTube terms of service.
We got him, bro. We got him.
Wouldn't just be able to create a username with that same bank account. They'd already hold their information on file. And they'd say, no, you can't create a new account because you've been terminated because you're a dick.
I took one for the team, you know what I'm saying? So we're just taking care of business out here, guys. That's how we live it. That's how we do it.
This would be a great way to control terminated users from attempting to re-access the platform using sock accounts and fake accounts. This would also create a much needed age gate for the platform, such an age gate that would prevent underage users from opening accounts on the platform and using them in the same way that an adult would. The sort of thing that might get YouTube in hot water with COPPA. Underage users creating YouTube accounts with smartphones that they've been given for their Christmas by their parents, ladies and gentlemen. And then they go on to get themselves in all kinds of trouble because they don't understand how the online ecosphere works. Paid accounts on YouTube would be a major blow against spam and fake accounts. If spam organisations such as the porn bots that are going about, or TrapTown, had to pay $5 per account made per month, whilst they receive literally no gains for doing so, then bad actors like this would quite soon evaporate into nothingness. YouTube as a platform has been abused and misused by such bad actors and their spam for far too long. And if YouTube does have to move into a subscription-based model, it will be because these bad actors and the people like them have ruined this platform for everyone. As usual, YouTube making moves that freak the fuck out of the community, with literally no warning or consultations with any of the creators on the platform. Anyway, you will find videos to watch in this end screen. I have been StooDogg. You can like if you like and dislike if you dislike. Feel free to subscribe and I'll catch you later. See ya.